some middle ground that they hope to find. If not, he is dug in. I mean, he is prepared to miss time here.
Yeah, it seems like every single offseason we're having some type of contract issues out of Cincinnati. But let's stay with the pass rusher theme here. Michael Parsons, he's due for a new deal. Cowboy fans are sitting there wondering, when is that going to get done?
Yeah, so this is kind of a relaxed situation. You know, when I talk to people involved, they're like, look, it's a lull in the summer right now. Not a lot going on. People are on vacation. Team officials are out on the beach somewhere. Once they reconvene for training camp, Dallas will probably lock in on this a little bit more. Typically, they do their deals late in the calendar, you know, late August, early September. We've seen that with CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, some of their other big deals. They are dedicated to doing this, though, and he's almost a separate situation than those other two guys we just talked about because they're in their 30s, they're going on their third contract. This guy's right in his prime, mid-20s, dangerous player, so he's going to get a massive number. It just depends on when they do it. Shouldn't be a problem. The Cowboys got a lot to spend here. They also got Tyler Smith, one of the top guards in the NFL, who's eligible for an extension as well.
Yeah, good for the Cowboys. Always got big money. Everything's bigger in Texas. And we know in a pass-happy league with talented quarterbacks, you need these guys. Parsons, Watt, and Hendrickson combined for 41 sacks last season. If your team won't sign them, someone else will. All right, to the NFL, where the development of second-year quarterbacks will be one of the major storylines of the season. So y'all know what time it is. It's time to open up them Fowler files. Here with senior NFL reporter Jeremy Fowler. And Jeremy, let's begin in Chicago with Caleb Williams. He gets a beefed-up offensive line, a new head coach. What have you been hearing about him this offseason?
Yeah, so football maturity is going to be a big theme for him league-wide. Talking to other teams are watching it closely because the ability is massive, but how does he comport himself on?
As reporter Jeremy Fowler joining the program. What's the latest on a possible contract extension for number 11 right here?
Well, the Cowboys want to pay Micah Parsons. There's a lull in the action right now. I checked in on it. There's not a lot going on because it's in the summer doldrums. Closer to training camp, expect this to heat up. Dallas is dedicated to trying to pay Micah Parsons. The problem is his money's only going up. We're seeing pass rush money go to that $40 million threshold. TJ Watt in Pittsburgh trying to get paid. He's only going to make that number go upwards. So Dallas is going to have to pay. It's not only about the big number. They're willing to do that, but it's about how many years on the contract and the guaranteed money. Those are going to be sort of sticking points that they have to work through. And also keep in mind with Dallas, they have Tyler Smith, one of the best young guards in the NFL. They're watching that guard market closely. He's eligible for a contract. So they got two guys they got to handle here.
It's an absolute arms race in the NFC East when you take a look at the landscape and everybody trying to add as much offensively and defensively. Let's start with the Eagles and another star pass rusher who could be in for a payday themselves.
Well, I'm going to forecast this early with Jalen Carter because he's becoming a superstar in the league, one of the best young interior defensive linemen. After this year, he will be eligible for a contract, and the Eagles love to pay their stars early. They have a penchant for it. They're trying to get ahead of that big money in the market. And the thing is, the Eagles feel like he's only scratching the surface, that he can win more one-on-one opportunities, put up even bigger sack numbers. If he does that, he is going to strain their books on the contract front because that money will be big. But he's a player to watch for sure this year. Then you got the Commanders. So they made a lot of splash moves. They've added Laramie Tunsil. They've added Deebo Samuel. Can they add one more at pass rusher? That's one position where they're thin. There are a lot of free agents out there that could make sense. Zadarius Smith still out there. Von Miller. So a lot of pedigree. Typically these players wait till closer to training camp and we'll see if Washington makes a move. It wouldn't surprise if they at least look into it, see what their options are. And you got the Giants. You see Jackson Dart there. So Giants are excited about this guy, no doubt. Like, they feel like he's done two things this offseason. He's proven he's a fast learner, and he's proven that he's highly motivated. He's also ingratiated himself in the locker room, with the quarterback room. He's like one of the guys. So this is trending well. They feel like things clicked for him late in OTAs, going into mini camp. So he's got a little bit of momentum. Now, most people around the league that I talked to going through the draft, they felt like he's a project, that he probably needs a year to sit. But as we know, the Giants got to win, and they got to prove something. So Russell Wilson, look, he's in a prime position to start. But Dart is coming along. He's been impressive so far.
All right, we mentioned the Cowboys' 30-year Super Bowl drought. But again, this is the NFC East. There hasn't been a back-to-back winner in that conference since 2000.
NFC North, with Baltimore heavily favored to win their third straight division title, according to ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Jeremy Fowler has more on Shedeur Sanders and the rest of the division.
Well, the Cleveland Browns have been happy with Shedeur Sanders' development thus far. They felt like in the spring he was throwing with conviction, aggressively, willing to throw in tight windows. The field, the Bears have already been working with him on, body language, how you're handling yourself in the huddle, on the sidelines when a play doesn't go right. And the word out of Chicago is he's handled himself well there. Now, Some of the previous Bears coaches were not overly thrilled, I was told, that he made public that he's watching film by himself. They felt like he could have handled that a little better from an accountability standpoint. So those are all things people are watching, but word is this offseason he's been great, really taking to Ben Johnson's hard, aggressive coaching.
All right, so what about Jaden Daniels? Because we know this brother was in the MVP conversation his rookie year, coming off a Heisman season in college. What have you been hearing about him after bringing Washington to an NFC championship last year?
Well, he was so good that people wonder, like, hey, is there going to be a sophomore slump here? I was told the Commanders are not worried about that for a few reasons. Number one, Daniels is a maniacal worker. He's like a 5 a.m.er type in the building. Wow. So he's putting in the hours. That's no problem. He's also taken off to a hot start with Deebo Samuel, the receiver they acquired recently in the offseason, to get those easy yards, screen passes, plays over the middle, even some rushing attack. So they feel like that's all good. The one thing that could hurt Jaden Daniels right now is Terry McLaurin. Is he going to be there for training camp because of his contract situation? Not happy with where things are with an extension. So they have a couple weeks here to try to make progress, but he needs McLaurin there at camp.
Yeah, that is facts. But we got Drake May. He was picked up third. Yeah. He's got a new head coach. He's got some new weapons in New England. So how's he looking heading into year two?
I talked to somebody with the team who said pretty bluntly, like, he looks like an NFL quarterback now. And not that he didn't last year, but when you're a rookie, your head's spinning, you got 100 different things you're trying to worry about as you're getting started. Now everything is calm and collected. He looks composed. So they're ready for a year two jump. They feel like they have more around them now. The Patriots have not had a 1,000-yard receiver since Julian Edelman, 2019. So they're hoping rookie Kyle Williams, he's been really impressive. He's hit it off with May. They're hoping he can make a jump. Stephon Diggs, still coming back from that ACL, but he was a positive influence this spring for sure.
And then finally, we got Bo Nix. He brought the Broncos to the playoffs. What are you hearing about him in year two?
So the Broncos have really urged with Nix in the offense, get off to a stronger start. The last 2 years, slow starts coming out of the gate have plagued the offense a little bit. They want to make sure that they're primed and ready for the playoffs in December, not scrambling to get in. Last year they faced a ton of tough defenses early on. So they want Nix to come out firing early in the season. But they feel like this offseason he showed more of his personality. He's somewhat of a semi-serious guy, especially coming into the league. He wanted to win the job and be the guy. Now he's more personable around the quarterback room. Like, he looks like a quarterback going into year two that is fully confident, knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, from everything that you're saying, it sounds like all these year two quarterbacks are doing a great job, and Nix is right there on that list.
It's the offseason, right? They're all great.
And the offense as a whole, frankly. Let's go to Donovan Ezeiruaku. He was also put on NFL.com's all-rookie team. He's joining Abdul Carter at edge. Carter was the no-brainer, obviously number 3 overall pick. I am a little bit surprised that Ezeiruaku was the pick here. I think to an extent it's kind of like, let's not have all first-round picks. As it turns out, looking at my draft rankings and where he was picked, Ezeiruaku was my number 6th edge. He was taken as the number 6th edge in the 2025 NFL draft. But even though there was both second-round grades on him, I had him much higher on my board, 28th. I thought he was going to go in round. I thought he could be a top 30 pick pretty easily. End up being the 44th overall pick. I am excited about Donovan Ezeiruaku. I think as a rotational pass rusher early on to give some juice opposite Micah Parsons, his role fits really well. He was insanely productive last year for Boston College. 21 TFLs, 16.5 sacks. You can go back and watch that short we did, the instant reaction. I was super excited about the pick. It was a great, frankly, value pick by the Dallas Cowboys. It's not often they take one of the top 2 or 3 players on my board. They did that with Ezeiruaku. I am excited about him. I'm not sure he'll actually be an all-rookie team member, just because he might be in more of a rotation than Jalen Walker might end up being in year 1. But I am excited about him long term. So prediction time, and we'll see what the answers are here. How many sacks does Donovan Ezeiruaku get in his first year with the Cowboys? Let me know in the comments of today's show. From Mike again, I think Donovan Ezeiruaku will end up becoming an elite pass rusher in the league. Depends on how you define elite, but I'm a big fan of his game. Ezeiruaku, it's been a while since the Cowboys just drafted the best or second best or third best, whatever player on my board. And that's what happened with Ezeiruaku. He reminds me a lot of Harold Landry. This is a guy that got 3 technique reps in 2022 for BC for some unknown reason. He had a 14% pressure rate, which is just fantastic production there. He is undersized. I thought he was a clear-cut top 30 player. You got him in round 2. I don't think, he's not going to be a Micah, But, like, he could be a Harold Landry fringe Pro Bowler, which is an elite second-round pick.